Have you ever had to go through a situation where, despite your efforts to connect with those around you, you often felt lonely and lost? Or even though you are responsible for all the assigned tasks, you constantly feel overlooked and undervalued by those you hold in high regard. That feeling of disappointment, surely many of us have experienced it at least once, right? In today's video, Stoic philosophy will provide you with valuable guidance if you have ever been in such a situation. But the important thing is that this philosophical school will not teach you how to make others change, how to make them recognize you, or how to avoid being ignored. Instead, based on the philosophy of various philosophers, this school will illuminate our lives, teaching us how to find value within ourselves without relying on the recognition of others. First of all, perhaps we need to explore together what personal values are and why they play an incredibly important role in a person's life. Starting with the definition of personal values. Personal values are things that are important to us, the characteristics and habits that motivate and guide our decisions. For example, you may value honesty. You have absolute trust in honesty, and you believe that people should be honest in their words, actions at all times. Therefore, speaking truthfully is very important to you because even a slight deviation from the truth can make you feel very disappointed in yourself. Or maybe you value kindness. In that case, you are always restless when you see someone in trouble. You're generous, willing to share your time, effort, and other resources for the greater good. This means that you always share everything you have with your family, friends, and society. These are just two examples of personal values among many others out there. What's important is that I want to emphasize that everyone has their own personal values. While we may share similarities with most people, it doesn't exclude the possibility that we carry differences within ourselves. As long as it doesn't go against ethics and the law, whatever your personal values are, even if they differ from the majority, don't hesitate, don't worry. For instance, some of us may thrive on competition, while others value cooperation. Or some may seek adventure, while others prioritize safety. Now, why are personal values important? The answer is because they shape our beliefs, guide our thoughts, and determine our lives. Living in accordance with our values often makes life much lighter and more positive. If one fails to live by their values, life can feel terrible. This principle doesn't just affect a person's daily decisions, but, more importantly, it influences major life choices. For example, if you highly value adventure, you may feel stifled and pressured if your parents push you towards safe options like a stable office job or a life revolving solely around home and work. For you, a career related to travel, starting your own business, or other adventurous but potentially risky opportunities would be much more appealing. On the other hand, if you prioritize safety, the opposite would hold true. Many might see the chance to travel the world and be their own boss as a dream come true, but it would leave you feeling uneasy. Deep down, you'd yearn for stability. So, we can see that each person is an individual, and everyone carries their own unique value. Stoic philosophy reminds us not to let others dictate our lives. Instead, focus on self-development, understanding, and defining your personal values, and live in accordance with them. This way, your life will become fulfilling and happier. Even if anyone in the outside world ignores you or doesn't value you, at this point, you possess the capability to change it. In classical Stoic philosophy, we've found principles to help individuals balance their own needs against relationships. In simpler terms, it means elevating your self-worth to a point where it doesn't matter whether others ignore or underestimate you. Number 1. Create a sense of absence. The first step to eliminate others' disregard is to create a sense of absence. If you used to always be present and respond immediately when others needed you, it's time for a change. In today's fast-paced world, time is an incredibly precious resource, and Stoic philosophy advises us to utilize it wisely and appreciate the time we have. Sometimes we shouldn't invest too much of this valuable resource in others, but rather focus more on ourselves. Philosophers remind their scholars that while we cannot control what happens around us, we can completely control how we react to it. By valuing your time and your own values, you are respecting yourself, and only then will others look at you with similar respect. Don't rush and don't be disheartened when receiving disregard from others. Instead, practice the art of patience and allow others time to reevaluate you. In Stoic philosophy, patience is not just a virtue, but also an essential factor that helps individuals remain serene in this ever-changing world. We can imagine that patience is a skill to maintain emotional stability and peace amidst turmoil. By applying the virtue of patience to your life, you not only shield yourself from emotional fluctuations, but also enable your inner confidence to grow stronger. Number 2, walk away, keep your distance. The next principle of Stoic philosophy that I want to introduce to you is to learn how to keep your distance from those who consistently disregard or underestimate you. In life, people in different positions will have varying opinions and thoughts. It's like thick snow falling, and those working outdoors will struggle more, while those selling warm clothes will be more delighted as their sales soar. In fact, from the bottom of their hearts, they hope for even more snow. Many people in the world cannot empathize with each other's circumstances and cannot understand each other's emotions and pain. Similarly, Stoic philosophy suggests that when faced with being underestimated, explaining too much may sometimes be meaningless. They won't understand the pressure you're carrying or the pain you're experiencing. For this reason, to avoid being overwhelmed by worries and negative emotions, when encountering those who underestimate you, you don't need to say too much. Learn to disregard and keep your distance from them. Don't belittle those who influence your life. Don't get upset by those who underestimate you. It's not worth it. Your life is yours, and you don't need to live it for others. Always remember that when being underestimated, you shouldn't care about the looks of others. Stay calm and continue living your own life. Number 3, be yourself. We often remind each other that the most important thing in life is to live true to oneself, in alignment with one's own beliefs, interests, and thoughts. And if possible, try not to let your mind become overly preoccupied with the thoughts of others. As we all know, this world has billions of people, each with different ideas in their heads. I'm confident that none of them share the same development path and lifestyle. So, meeting people who appreciate you is a stroke of luck, while encountering those who underestimate you is quite normal. At any time, don't get upset about being underestimated by others because it's their way of interfering in your life. Another thing that Stoic philosophers want to remind us when facing those who underestimate us is never to doubt and deny your own values just because they don't respect you. Always remember that if you don't value yourself, no one else can replace you in doing that. So, strive for what you want and live wholeheartedly for your dreams so that you can have a brighter future. From there, those who underestimate you will naturally change their attitude due to your growth. The more others underestimate you, the more you have to manage yourself and live your best life. Number 4, no need for explanation. There's a secret that we want to share with you, and that is, those who underestimate and disregard you will have very different values compared to yours. Perhaps you and they will differ in opinions and thoughts on certain issues, or even more so, in all aspects of life. Therefore, Stoic philosophy asserts that meeting such people, no matter how much you explain, no matter how you prove your point, they may not listen or understand. The harsh truth is that in some cases, if there has been too much conflict between you and them, even if they understand, they might pretend not to in order to continue underestimating you. Number 5, connect with like-minded people. In interpersonal communication, Stoic philosophy reminds you never to try to please those who underestimate you. Instead, learn to connect with like-minded individuals. These are the people who truly understand and value you. Even if you say nothing, in their hearts, you still shine and deserve everyone's respect. There are two situations that philosophers point out when someone underestimates you, either because you are genuinely inferior to them or because they deliberately seek to belittle you. When they see your efforts to improve yourself in your elevated position, I can guarantee that they will come to flatter you. Therefore, Choosing who to interact with and engage with is very important. Life is not easy. Walk with those who share your goals more, and your life will be more comfortable. Through today's video, we've explored various ways to handle being underestimated or disregarded by others. If you found the content we shared useful, don't forget to subscribe to our channel to continue on this journey with us. Thank you for watching our video and see you in the next ones.